What's up, guys? This is the Honest Outlaw here, and today we're going to be talking about the M&P Shield 2.0. Now, before I do that, I want to thank my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys very much. YouTube has been consistently demonetizing gun content, so I really appreciate your support now more than ever. It goes a long way to buy guns and gear and all sorts of cool stuff that you see on the channel. I also want to thank ammo.com. They've been a long-time supporter. There's a link in the description below for 20 bucks off any order of 200 bucks or more. And I want to thank B&H Hunting Supplies. I've been working with them for a couple videos now. They also supplied the Mossberg MC1, which should be a review coming out very shortly as well. But they also sent me the M&P Shield. So if you want some pretty awesome guns like this for reasonable prices, go over and check them out. The reason why I like dealing with them is because there's no conflict of interest. They don't care what I say at all. They supply a vast number of firearms, so if I knock one here or there, not a big concern to them, and they're a big fan of the channel. So if you want to help me out, go over and support them as well, because I don't work with a lot of companies, but I do work with them because they have awesome customer service, lots of cool guns, and they have really cool prices as well. Now, what is the M&P Shield 2.0? What is the 2.0 version of the original Shield, which kind of changed the game a little bit. It is, just like this, was a striker-fired polymer frame single stack. You get in multiple calibers. This M&P 2.0 is in 9mm, which is the most popular caliber. The original Shield changed the game quite a bit because it was probably the most popular concealed carry pistol of the last generation. Reason being is it really mixed together being affordable, lightweight, and reliable in a way that people really hadn't done before the Shield. Lots of people have copied it, the Glock 43, the Walther PPX, I think. There's many different types of them, but the Shield really was the first very popular subcompact single stack 9mm that was both affordable, lightweight, and reliable. Now, the Gen 2 has all of those same features, but it adds a few. This M&P sitting in front of you here is 18 ounces, making it very lightweight. It has a 3-inch barrel, comes from the factory with steel 3-dot sights, big fan of that, and it has a 1 7-round magazine and 1 8-round magazine, depending on what you like. Personally, I like shooting the 8-round magazine more, although we did use them both in testing just to try them out. What are some of the upgrades for the Gen 2 that you'll be looking at? Well, first off, it's got the better texture. That pretty much sold me already. I really like the M&P 2.0 texture. It's my favorite of all the pistols. And they dumbed it down a little bit for the Shield, which I totally get because it's going to be a carry pistol, so it's going to be rubbing on your stomach or your back, depending on where you carry generally, if you carry inside the waistband. So you're going to want it a little bit less, but it did not affect me at all. It's still better than 99% of all of the pistols on the market. For some reason, the M&P texture really works for me. And one thing that allows you to do is glue your hand to the gun once you draw the pistol, and it really keeps the gun in your hand under recoil and controls the pistol so you can shoot it very fast. Faster, in my opinion, than any other pistol of its size. That's another really good thing about the Shield, is for its size, it's probably the most shootable pistol. They also upgraded the trigger, which is, in my opinion, the only downside of the M&P series. I don't like the articulating trigger still. As you can see here, it's got this little halve trigger here. I think that's because they don't want to get in trouble with patents with Glock, maybe. That was originally the rumor going around about why they used that, but there's so many other triggers now that use a similar mechanism. I'm not sure why this is necessary, but it is a trigger safety. It makes it drop safe, so if you drop it on the ground, it won't shoot yourself in the ass like maybe your SIG will. And that's pretty nice. The cool thing that they've done with the M&P 2.0 is they've made the trigger a little bit better, a little bit lighter, a little bit crisper, and it actually has a very audible and tactile reset, which is one of the arguments against the original Gen 1. It never bothered me personally, and I do shoot to reset, but I could see how it could, especially during practice. So it's nice that they added that, and the trigger does feel really good. What would you use this gun for? Well, it seems pretty obvious that you would use it for concealed carry. However, if you can see here with this 8-round magazine, it does make it more than big enough to control. And honestly, if I had to pick one pistol and I ended up with the Shield and I had to, you know, defend my home with this, you know, use a flashlight in the old FBI technique or whatever it may be, I think I would be okay with that. I think that if people broke into your house and you started popping rounds off at them with an M&P Shield, they're going to run all the same as they would if you had a Shadow 2. So I think overall it would be a pretty decent all-around pistol. I mean, honestly, if you're going to buy a handgun, I think my primary use would be concealed carry, so it would be perfect for me. But if you're only going to buy one gun and you had to use this for home defense, I think I would see no problem with it. I mean, honestly, people get a little wrapped up about home defense guns. There certainly are some that are better than others, but, you know, if you came out of your house, if you came out of your bedroom with a long sword, let's say, and started chasing after people, they're still going to most likely run away. So a lot of things can be very effective, even though they're not the most effective. Now, as far as carry goes, this gun, as I said before, is a very, very good choice and probably the most popular choice on the market today. A couple of reasons for that are going to be you can be very accurate with this pistol, you can be very fast with this pistol, and it's still a reasonable price and a reasonable size for carry. Now, I did shoot 1,000 rounds through the M&P Shield, and I had 0 problems, as expected. I would have actually been upset if I did have problems because I've owned several M&Ps, including a Shield, before I started the channel, and it was flawless. M&Ps are some of the most reliable pistols on the market, which is why they hang with Glock toe-to-toe, because they have the same reliability, same mechanism, really. They're very similar guns, except for they have a lot of ergonomic and cosmetic differences. Now, beyond reliability, we have accuracy. And is it the most accurate concealed carry pistol? I would say no. I would say it's up there. It's pretty close, but it really does shine when you put it under speed. Like, these guns aren't meant to shoot 50 yards. You're not meant to shoot a headshot at 100 yards with these guns. What they're meant to do is basically dump a mag at 7 rounds, or 7 yards rather. And in that, this gun excels. If you shoot this up close and you have to, you know, break contact, so to speak, this gun is an excellent choice for that. There's a couple of things that make it more shootable than a lot of other guns. And comparing this to, let's say, the Glock 43X really quick, my personal carry gun, the texture is one thing that really allows it to glue in your hand, and the ergonomics of the grip, in my opinion, are a little bit better than the Glock as well. So as you can see here, it really fits your hand, it really molds in your hand very nicely. Obviously, I'm a bigger guy, so I would carry the 8-round magazine. 1 round's always better anyway. It's not going to make that much of a difference, but it does make a difference allowing you to leverage the gun, and it does make a difference having a positive grip when you're trying to pull it out of the holster. So I like the draw. I like how it feels in your hand. I like how it controls the recoil. It's got a very low bore axis, and for whatever reason, M&P pistols have always been very soft shooting by comparison to even other guns of similar size and weight. Now, I think this is going to be maybe an ounce heavier than some other guns, but not a noticeable difference, and it does come with some pretty excellent sights and a pretty excellent trigger as well. One of the reasons why it's so accurate, as I showed earlier, is it does have an awesome trigger, especially for a small little gun. So you can see here, it's got a very crisp wall there, and then it's got a very, I shouldn't say a very fast, but a pretty fast, pretty short reset as well. So once you break that shot, you're coming back onto it, it doesn't take very long to get that next shot out. You can see the sights here. The 3-dot sights are pretty decent. They're not my favorite. My preferred sighting system is going to be a blacked out rear with a front fiber optic. And believe it or not, you can get shields with stuff like that. The one cool thing about the M&P Shield line, or about M&Ps in general, is that unlike Glock or maybe HK, some other types of firearms, some other manufacturers of firearms, Smith & Wesson gives you lots of options, and I mean lots of options. There's a 4-inch version of this gun, there's the Gen 1, there's the Gen 2, there's Performance Center versions, there's ported versions, there's versions with different fiber optic sights and different things like that, there's versions with different triggers. You can get pretty much whatever you want with the M&P Shield line, which is pretty impressive. Another thing that I really like about the M&P Shield series especially is the takedown. So I don't traditionally do takedown on my pistols, but we'll do it here real quick because on the M&P line it is so freaking easy. So as you can see there, I did not use the mechanism that you can use to take it down without using the trigger because it's so easy to use it with the trigger. But the reason why I like the takedown on the M&P series so much is because, well, I wish I had a Glock here to show you. Well, the point I'm trying to make is Glocks have these little takedown levers here on the frame, and the problem I've seen with those is if you've got your gun really dirty. I used to do the gauntlet test, which actually gave me a lot of data points for my channel, so maybe I'll do some of those in the future. I've had a ton of requests for them. The only problem is that they are a pain in the ass to do. Cleaning those guns after that takes hours and hours and hours. But the point I'm trying to get to is that the M&P Shield line has this large takedown lever here. So it's a lot harder to get this fumble fucked with a whole bunch of debris and stuff in it like you can the Glocks. Those little takedown levers, they're hard to get a hold of. There's not a lot of space to get leverage on, and they can easily fill with sand and dirt underneath them, whereas the Shield is this large lever that you can get a lot of leverage on, and there's not a lot of space beneath it. Overall, if you do get dirt and grime into the pistol and it makes it non-operational and you have to break it down to clean it, the M&P series does have a superior mechanism for that. The M&P 2.0s go for right around $350 to $400, maybe $450. At Shields are $450. At BN Hunting they're like $400, and sometimes some places you can see them on special for maybe a little bit less than that. The point I'm trying to make is for $400 this is an excellent carry gun. But overall for $400 I think out of the box, if you're going to get a carry pistol, I think it's the best one. If I had to buy one out of the box that I wasn't going to upgrade, it would be the Shield. It has the perfect texture, so no need for Talon grips. It has decent sights, so no real need for that. Although if it were me, I'd still upgrade him because I'm a nut job. And it has a pretty decent trigger in comparison to the Gen 1. I wouldn't upgrade this. I don't like to upgrade my concealed carry triggers personally, so I'm glad that it comes with a better trigger from the factory, and I see no issues with this. For whatever reason, I don't like the articulating trigger on the larger M&Ps, but on the Shield, it really doesn't bother me at all. So yeah, I would have to say that if you are looking for a recommendation for me for a new carry pistol, I'd have to go with the Shield. Unless you want to put sights and some grip tape on it and stuff like that, then maybe I'd recommend the 43X. The problem is that gun, like all Glocks, are a project gun, and this gun comes out of the factory already done. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please help out your local homeless shelters, and remember to recycle. I'll check you later.